Hi guys, Chris here with another video tutorial. This will be the last video tutorial that I use my Grogu scarf as an example. I have found several things as I go along with this pattern and as I'm working it out that I realize a lot of people may or may not have ran across in their projects before. So just to avoid any confusion, I would like to go over exactly how I am doing certain parts of this. So if you're following along with my pattern from my Etsy store, thank you so much for the purchase. That helps me to keep creating these videos and to keep creating things for the Etsy shop for all of us to create. So before we get started, let me start off by saying, like I always do, that this is how I crochet. It in no way represents the entire crochet community. We're all artists and we all develop our own very specific way of creating. However, there are some basic standards in our community, and that's what I'm here to teach you. That being said, I'm located in the southern United States and I will be speaking in US standard crochet terms. So, okay, I am at the point on my pattern where we have completed the center part. I have a 2-color graph at the end down here, which I do have a video on creating 2-color graphs, and watch that one please if you're interested in learning how to do graph patterns. I have another graph down here at the end. This one has 4 colors in it. So if you watch my tutorial on how to do the 2-color graph, then this 4-color graph is the same concept, only there's 4 different yarns to keep straight as you are working through the graph pattern. So we have both of those ends done. The transition between the colors is done. I have done my first row of single crochet around the edge with my base color. Simple enough. And now I have my color 3 that I've attached. Really, it doesn't matter where you attach it in this pattern, but I'm getting to the end of this second round around the outside, and I want to show you how to do the spike stitch and how to transition from round 2 to round 3 to round 4. So hopefully this won't be too long. I will stop in the middle so I can go all the way around my project, and you don't have to watch me do that. But for now, what my pattern says, let me stop to read it, and it's written out in my hand. So here, I'm going to show you. That's what my patterns look like while I'm developing them. They're lots and lots of fun to decipher. So if I stumble over this, I'm very sorry. But basically, what my pattern says is to attach color 3 at any point around the edge, work a single crochet around the perimeter. We have done that. When you come to the end of the round, I say do not attach or join. We're going to be making a continuous circle around the perimeter from here. So you're simply going to work a normal single crochet into the first stitch that you made with color 3. This color 3 is very similar to my color 1 here. So in my example, this, and hopefully, come on, focus. This is color 1 and this is color 3. And I know that looks very, very similar. Color 3 is a tweed and color 1 is not. It is just a bare merino and cashmere blend. So hopefully you can tell what I'm doing. You will be able to tell once I get to the next thing that we're going to do. So let's work on this. Come on, focus. Focus, little guy. Maybe not. There we go. Come on, stay with it. Okay, so what we do, instead of joining here, this is my first stitch in the round. Instead of doing a slip stitch join, what I'm going to do is a single crochet, and that just gives us a continuous round and kind of a circular pattern around the edge. So now we are going to pull this loop up very long and just take your hook out, set it to the side, because I am taking this here is all these colors are DK weights. I am taking, my pattern calls for a fingering weight to accent the edge of the pattern. I have chosen a brown because this tweed here has a little bit of brown in it, but I like brown. So I wanted to add just a little bit more to the side. So I have a nice sock yarn that has some stellina in it. So it is very sparkly. I hope that picks up on video. It's very sparkly and I love it. I love these ones with stellina in it, and I felt like that went really well with Star Wars theme. I don't know why. It's just I'm a crazy person. So my next directions say attach color 5, which is what this fingering weight is, to the next available stitch. So we went into this first stitch, attach color 5 to the next available stitch, and this is how I do that. And I just kind of pull it down tight. And if you've watched any of my other videos, you know that I am absolutely a crazy person. And I also tie my yarns because I have this super fear that because this project will be sold in my Etsy store, I have this big fear that somebody is going to pay, because I have paid, you know, 30, 60, I probably have about $80 worth of materials in this yarn. And I don't want somebody to pay $100 for this set and then part of it come apart. Like, no, don't do that. So we're just gonna tie it in there just to make sure that that stays put. Very sorry, I had a slight cat emergency, so we are back now. Where was I? The attaching color 5 to the next available stitch. And the next directions say work a spike stitch into the next stitch. So a spike stitch, if you don't know what that is, go back and watch one of my other videos. I go more in depth because we all know that I get wordy and I go into a wordy definition of the spike stitch and how to use it and all that good stuff in one of my other videos. For now, I'm going to assume that you know how to do a spike stitch. So into the next stitch, spike stitch, all the way around it there. I am using my same hook because most of this is spike stitch, and I do want this small fingering weight yarn to be a little bit looser over the top here. And this row, what you do is you spike stitch, you chain 1, you skip a stitch, and then spike stitch into the next one. So you're putting a very delicate decorative row, and you repeat that all the way around the edge of the project. So I am going to do that now, and I will come back and show you what I do when I get to the end. And just like that, we are back at the beginning of the project again. And it sounds like my cat's going to scream at me. Excuse me, guys. I'm so sorry. My cat is very needy. So we are back here at the very beginning again. And as you can see, we've still got this loop that is pulled up from our previous round. I have 2 more stitches left, and I'm going to show you what this looks like, because this can be this can be a little scary for people to go into the round again. And I'm just going to let her cry. I'm very sorry if it bothers you that there's a cat screaming in the background. We have to get this video done. So one more spike stitch, single crochet, and into the last stitch. Here we go. That one can be a little tight. So you just complete your last spike stitch into that. It's kind of like you're playing tag with your rounds at this point, because you're going to pull this loop way up, set this out of the way so that it doesn't get tangled up, and you're going to reinsert into this yarn and just pull it back down. And then you're just going to go right into it. This is another row of single crochet. So what you do is you insert into the top of that spike stitch, just like you would insert into the top of any stitch, and single crochet in there. Then you're going to single crochet into your chain space. Then you're going to single crochet into the top, and hopefully that's focused enough for you to see the top of that spike stitch there. Single crochet into the chain space, into the top of your spike stitch, into the chain space, into the spike stitch, into the chain space, and you just keep working around in that manner. It's as easy as that. Then when you get to the end of this round, look how pretty that looks. Oh my gosh, I love doing this technique. Then when you get to the end of this round, you're going to do the same thing. You're just going to play tag. This color will be sitting on top of, let me get in here real close so you can see. This DK weight will be sitting on top of that spike stitch. And then you're going to pick this yarn back up and do another round of that, and then your project is complete, at least for the Grogu scarf, if that is what you are doing with this tutorial. If not, create your own. If you're making something with any of the videos that is a technique that I have shown you how to do, please let me know. I would love to see all of your projects. I want to know what everybody else is doing. I love crochet, and I love this very clean, neat look that you get with this. It's not the big loopy, you know, I hate to say, you know, like grandma-y looking, but I'm gonna say it because that's kind of what it is, and you know, like that, and that's okay. That's beautiful, but I tend to create items that are a little less like that and a little more, they have more of a modern feel to them. I feel like crochet is evolving quite a bit, and I love that. I love to see these traditions that have been around for so long doing new things and creating new things. I want to see what all you guys are doing. Thank you so much for sticking around to the end of the video. I'm sorry I got wordy today. I did 2 videos today, and both of them were very wordy, and we had cat mishaps on this one, so thank you for sticking around through all of my cat mishaps. And I tend to leave that in there because frankly that's just me. That's just what my life is. And I think that Hopefully it's not annoying. It adds something, a little bit of a human element to the videos, and that's why I leave it in there. Thank you so much for watching. Happy crochet.